Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this lovely textured throw. I'm Susan from Tiara Lace Crochet, and in part 1 we went over the star stitch panel, which consisted of rows 1 through to 6. Today we're going to be looking at rows 7 through to 11. So we have a little bobble stitch panel here that's framed with some reverse single crochets. Okay, so looking back at our little sample piece where we did the star stitch panel, we now need to make sure the work is the right way up and it's the right side facing. You'll see you have a little ridge across here. So just flip it over and you'll see the tops of your stitches here. We're going to be working into the front loops only, which are these loops here, just at the front. These are the back loops. So we need to attach our yarn starting at the left side now, because we're going to be doing a single crochet row but in reverse. So insert your hook in that very first stitch just there and grab your new yarn, or the yarn where you snipped it before, and reattach just here. I tend to just lay the yarn over my fingers like so, pop it at the back of my work, yarn over and pull through, and then chain 1, and now we're going to start with the reverse single crochet. So working into the front loops only of these stitches, we're going to go back into that very first stitch just there, insert our hook, grab the yarn, pull through a loop. It will twist, don't worry, it's meant to, and then yarn over and pull through. Now identify the next front loop only to the right, insert your hook under there, grab the yarn, pull through, don't hold your work too tightly, and then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. As you can see, it's twisted again. It's meant to twist. If you just angle your work right, you should be able to get to that front loop a little easier. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on your hook, and again insert your hook into that next stitch to the right, front loop only, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through, and there you get a lovely twisted rope-like effect. So once again, working under the front loop only, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull through, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. So I'll show you a couple of more times. You may have to just alter the tension a little bit, or adjust the tightness of your yarn. That makes it a bit easier to understand. Sorry about the focus. So once again, you're going into that front loop only. I put my finger at the back so it makes it easier to know where it is. So continue doing the reverse single crochet, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So this is row 7, working the reverse single crochet into the front loops only of each stitch along the row. Make sure you go into the very last stitch. So you can see here, our last stitch is just there. Again, going through the front loop only, exactly as we've done the other stitches, yarning over and put. It does seem to stick out a little. Don't worry about that, because when we start row 8, which we're going to do now, we're going to identify that very first skipped back loop from row 6. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's the start of row 8, which is a normal single crochet row. Works in all the skipped back loops from 2 rows below, or the second row below. And my little cat has just jumped on the table, so she might make an appearance in a second. So working across in those back loops with a little row of single crochets gives us a lovely textured effect, a little ridge-like effect, as you can see here. It pushes it up a little. Okay, so continue working your single crochets to the end of the row, end of row 8, and I'll meet you in a few minutes for row 9, which is where we'll start working the bobbles. So this last single crochet is a bit difficult to identify the skipped back loop. If you just rotate your work, you'll see it's sitting just there. And then complete your last single crochet. And that's row 8 completed. Right, for row 9, we just go ahead and turn our work. There's no need to chain. And in the very first stitch along here, it's just split a little, insert your hook and work a single crochet. And then in the next stitch, work another single crochet. Now we're going to work our bobble. So for the bobble, all you do is work 4 double crochets together. So we're going to work 4 incomplete double crochets. All that means is yarn over as you normally would for a double crochet, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So rather than yarning over, pulling through the next 2, we're going to stop there. So in effect, it's an incomplete double crochet. So we need a total of 4 of these. So insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 2. So for the third incomplete double crochet, repeat, and that's the 4th. So you can see here, ignore the loop already on your hook, but you have 4 incomplete double crochets there. Now to crochet them together, all you do is yarn over and pull through all 5 loops on your hook. Now to turn that into a bobble, you'll find if you just go ahead and insert your hook in the next single crochet along and work a single crochet, it automatically pushes those stitches to the back and creates a little bobble. So that's the top of your stitch there, and there's your bobble at the back, which is actually the front of your work. So we need another single crochet in the next stitch, and then we repeat the bobble. So again, work 4 incomplete double crochets. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 4 times in the same stitch. Then yarn over, pull through all 5 loops on your hook, bring them together nicely, and then work 2 single crochets, a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, pulling them nicely together. while pulling those double crochets together. There we go. So you continue this to the end of the row. You just do your 2 single crochets, your bobble, 2 single crochets, and repeat this to the end, so you'll end with 2 single crochets. So you actually have the work wrong side facing. See what I did then? I was going to do a popcorn stitch, which is not what we're after here. Right, so incomplete double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. Just tighten them up a little and then work your 2 single crochets. You go under both loops here. And then again, your bobble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, the yarn's splitting. There. Two single crochets. I'll show you how it's looking. This is the reverse, and that's your bobbles. Okay, so nearly at the end of this row now. Don't forget, if you're working your actual blanket, you would always have 145 stitches on each row. If you're doing the sample like me, you'll just have 17 stitches on each row. So this is part 2 of the video, as we said earlier, and all the information for parts 1 and 3 will be in the description box below, and I'll also leave an end card. Right, so there we've completed our bobble row, which is row 9. So for row 10, you just simply turn your work and work a row of single crochets. No need to do any turning chains, sorry. Right, single crochet in that very first stitch, into the next stitch under both loops, and then you'll go into the back of the bobble, which the chain or the back of the stitch is slightly longer than the others, and work a single crochet. So you'll find you have 2 single crochets between each bobble, and then the bobble, there's the back of the bobble, go under both loops and work your single crochets all the way to the end, and I'll meet you there. And once again, you should have 145 single crochets if you're working the blanket, or 17 if you're just doing the sample like me. Right, see you in a few secs at the end of row 10. Right, so we're almost at the end of row 10. You can see those 2 little horizontal bars there. Insert your hook under that very last stitch, which happens to be just above those bars, under both loops, and finish with your last single crochet. Okay, so now for row 11 we need another row of the reverse single crochets, and we repeat row 7 for row 11. So Once again, you've already got the work right side facing, so you don't need to attach your yarn. So just chain 1 and then go under the front loop only of this chain here. This can be a little bit tricky, so if I zoom in, goodness knows that's a little piece of foliage, goodness knows where that's come from. If I can just grab that, just give me a sec. Right, so then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2, and then you're working into the front loops only of each of these single crochets across. So it's a little easier to see because you don't have that ridge this time. Okay, so just repeat row 7 all the way across with your reverse single crochet. And I'll see you at the end of the row. So we finish row 11, and in part 3 we'll look at the diamond stitch panel. So we'll then start by working a single crochet in the skipped back loops here. So I look forward to seeing you in a few moments for part 3. So this is how your work is looking so far. Once again, thanks for watching and see you soon.